I was 15 years old when my parents decided they had heard enough. It had been raining since the afternoon. The sky was dark, thunder echoed across the hills, and the roads were almost empty. My younger sister stood in the living room crying. She pointed at me. "They took my money," she sobbed. "I saw them hiding it." I stared at her in shock. I didn't take anything. But no one listened. My father slammed his hand on the table. "I've defended you too many times." My mother shook her head with disappointment. "I never thought you'd steal from your own family." I begged them to search my room, to check my pockets, to let me explain. Instead, my father grabbed my backpack and threw it onto the porch. "Get out!" I thought he wanted me to calm down. I thought he'd call me back inside. He didn't. The front door closed. The rain soaked my clothes within seconds. Lightning flashed across the sky as I stood there alone. I knocked until my fists hurt. No one answered. Finally, I picked up my bag and started walking down the empty road. I had nowhere to go. No money. No phone. No idea what would happen next. Then, through the storm, headlights appeared. A black pickup truck slowed beside me. The window rolled down. An older stranger looked at me with concern. "You shouldn't be out here tonight." For a moment, I hesitated. Then I climbed inside. I had no idea that one decision would change my life forever. The truck smelled of coffee and old leather. The driver handed me a towel and turned on the heater. "You don't have to tell me what happened," they said kindly. "But you're safe now." Those words broke something inside me. For the first time that night, I cried. The stranger drove to a small farmhouse just outside town. It wasn't fancy, but it was warm. There was homemade soup waiting on the stove and a spare bedroom with clean blankets. No questions, no judgment, only kindness. The next morning, I expected to be sent away. Instead, the stranger helped me contact a local youth support center. Over the next few weeks, arrangements were made for me to stay somewhere safe while the situation was investigated. Meanwhile, back home, my sister's missing money was found. It had slipped behind a dresser in her room. She confessed through tears that she had blamed me because she was afraid of getting into trouble. My parents were horrified. They searched everywhere for me. But by then, I was gone, and I wasn't coming back. The years passed. I worked hard in school. The stranger who had picked me up became the steady presence I had never known I needed. They came to every graduation, every award ceremony, every important milestone. They never tried to replace my parents. They simply showed up. When I doubted myself, they reminded me to keep going. When I succeeded, they celebrated louder than anyone else. Their belief in me gave me the confidence I had lost on that stormy night. By the time I turned 28, I had built a successful career and a peaceful life. The farmhouse had become a second home. One afternoon, while helping repair the old fence, the stranger smiled and said, "You know, family isn't always the people who bring you into the world. Sometimes it's the people who refuse to leave when everyone else does." I never forgot those words. Then 1 week later, I received an unexpected letter. It was from my father. He wanted to see me. After 13 years of silence, curiosity won. I agreed to meet my parents at a quiet cafe. When I walked in, I barely recognized them. Time had changed them. My father looked older. My mother seemed tired. My sister sat quietly, unable to meet my eyes. For a long moment, no one spoke. Then my father stood. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I believed a lie." My mother reached across the table. "There isn't a day we haven't regretted that night." My sister began crying. I wanted to tell the truth sooner. I was scared. Listening to them, I felt years of anger and sadness rise inside me. But I also saw something I had never seen before. Remorse. Real remorse. Before leaving, my father asked one question. "Who took you in that night?" I smiled gently. "If you really want to know, come with me tomorrow." He agreed, not knowing what awaited him. The next afternoon, we drove to the old farmhouse. The porch looked exactly as I remembered. The same rocking chair, the same flower pots, the same peaceful silence. The front door opened. The older stranger stepped outside with a warm smile. The moment my father saw them, he froze. His hands began to shake. His face turned pale. My mother covered her mouth in shock. Neither of them could believe it. Years before I was born, my father and the stranger had been best friends. They had grown up together, but after a painful misunderstanding, they had stopped speaking. Decades passed without contact. Now, the person my father had lost was the very person who had saved the child he had abandoned. My father slowly walked forward. Tears filled his eyes. "I don't deserve to thank you." The stranger smiled kindly. "I didn't save them because of you. I saved them because no child should ever face a storm alone." Those words left everyone in silence. As the sun began to set, we all sat together on the farmhouse porch. For the first time in years, there were no accusations, no lies, no anger, only honesty. My father turned to me with tears in his eyes. "I lost you because I chose judgment over trust. I'll regret that for the rest of my life." I looked at the person who had rescued me all those years ago, then back at my parents. "I can't erase the past," I said softly, "but I can decide what kind of future I want." Forgiveness didn't happen in one afternoon. It took time, patience, and many difficult conversations, but healing slowly replaced pain. Every time rain falls now, I remember that terrible night. Not because it was the night I was abandoned, but because it was the night someone chose kindness over indifference. Sometimes, the darkest storm leads you to the safest shelter. And sometimes, the hands that save your life belong to someone your own family never expected to see again. Because true family isn't defined by blood alone. It's defined by who opens the door when the whole world has closed theirs.
Hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a new emotional story. Your support means more than words can say, and it helps us continue bringing these untold stories to life.